A water bottle fell on the sacred stone at Arlington National Cemetery, breaking the calm. Caleb Whitaker, a 16-year-old with a fashionable blazer who thought he was cool, smiled at his phone as he filmed his prank for likes. Jacob Harper, the tomb guard, didn't move. He kept his march perfect, 21 steps, a turn, and a pause. But he could see everything behind those dark sunglasses. People thought he was just a soldier in a fancy uniform. Caleb thought he was a good target for a joke. No one knew, not the tourists, not the teacher, and not even Caleb, that the tomb guard had previously carried a wounded brother through a hail of bullets in Afghanistan. And today, one reckless move was about to turn a field trip into a lesson no one would forget. Before we get into the story, don't forget to subscribe with the bell notification on for more amazing stories. Also, tell us in the comment section from where are you watching this from. If you still think that ideals like honor, courage, and sacrifice matter, please help us preserve their memory alive. The autumn morning at Arlington National Cemetery is calm and almost holy. Golden leaves fall slowly from old oaks and catch the lovely light that shines on the unending rows of white headstones. The air is cool and crisp, and the distant hum of Washington, D.C. sounds like it's from a different world. Jacob Harper, a 28-year-old tomb guard, gets ready for his shift at the tomb of the unknown soldier. His navy blue suit is pristine, every crease sharp, every brass button sparkling. His dark eyeglasses and low kepi make him look like he's very focused. Jacob's steps are exact and have been practiced 1,000 times. 21 steps, a sharp turn, a pause, and then 21 steps back. Every movement honors the unknown soldiers who gave their lives for the country he loves. Jacob has been a tomb guard for a year. He was chosen because he is disciplined and has served as a combat veteran in the Middle East. His task is both a burden and a privilege. He stands erect with a rifle on his shoulder and his eyes set on the front. He is part of a tradition that goes back almost 100 years. To the tourists that are gathering at the marble stairs, he stands for seriousness. He thinks of himself as a soldier who carries the legacy of those who never came home. But the peace is broken when a school bus pulls up and its brakes screech. A group of around 20 high school students from a well-known private academy in Virginia spills out in their blue blazers and khaki jeans. This is a dramatic contrast to the quiet of the cemetery. Their voices are loud, and they carry across the sacred land like a marching band. Caleb Whitaker, 16, is in the lead. He has a lot of swagger and confidence. His blonde hair is nicely styled, and his designer blazer is slightly unbuttoned to show off a glittering watch that costs more than most people's rent. Caleb is the kind of kid that loves attention and is always ready with a smile and a joke. He is already taking out his phone and pointing it at the grave. Caleb says, "Check this out, guys," and his voice is full with sarcasm as he starts to record a TikTok. It's like a robot parade. What's up with this guy? Does he just walk back and forth all day for selfies? His companions laugh and bring out their phones to join in. Josh, a tall kid, copies Jacob's exact march, making the steps so big that he almost trips over his own feet. The group screams, and Caleb zooms in on Jacob, who is still and has his eyes covered by sunglasses. "Caleb, put that away," a stern voice says. Their history teacher, Miss Sarah Thompson, is 35 years old. Her face shows that she is both angry and tired. Her outfit and light jacket look tidy, but her face shows that she's been having a hard time with this class all morning. "Be respectful. We're here to learn, not to make a scene." Caleb rolls his eyes and says, "Calm down, Miss T. It's just a show. These guys are getting paid to stand there and look serious. What's the big deal?" Emma Sullivan, who is also 16, stands out from the other students because she is holding a little notebook. Her brown hair is pulled back, and her green polo shirt fits well into her khakis. Emma is the quiet one and the history nerd who really did read the homework about Arlington before the trip. She writes down notes about the tomb's past, but she keeps looking uncomfortably at Caleb. She wants to say something, but she chews her lips since she knows he'll simply label her a bookworm again. Miss Thompson moves closer and speaks firmly. "Caleb, I'm warning you. This is a holy place, and these soldiers are not here to have fun." Caleb snorts, not bothered. "Come on, it's just a bunch of old stones and a guy playing dress-up." He turns to his friends and smiles. "Who's in? I bet I can make him flinch." Josh and a few other people laugh and encourage him. Josh pulls out his wallet and says, $10 says you can't. "Make it 20, says another kid. Their voices get louder when they pool their money. A family with 2 small kids and an older man with a veteran's cap nearby starts to notice. The family leaves and the parents give them disapproving looks. Frank Larson, 68, the older man, stands still, and his aged face tightens. There is a Vietnam War unit patch on his cap, and his silver hair sticks out from under it. His hand rests on a worn military pin that is clipped to his jacket. For years, Frank has been going to Arlington to see friends who never made it home. Caleb's actions made him feel like he had been punched in the gut. Emma steps forward, her voice calm but soft. "Caleb, you shouldn't do that. The tomb guards are soldiers on active duty who have fought in wars like—" "Come on, Emma," Caleb says, copying her tone. "Watch. You memorized the whole tour guide book. Now go write your notes somewhere else." Emma's cheeks turn red, but she doesn't back down. They've earned this post. It's not just a ceremony. It's about honoring the dead. Caleb rolls his eyes and goes back to his phone. "Whatever, bookworm. Look at this." Miss Thompson's voice cuts through. "Caleb Whitaker, stop it right now. You're making a fool of yourself at this school." But Caleb is already on the move, and the attention gives him more confidence. He throws an empty water bottle into the area around the tomb that is off limits. It lands with a clatter on the marble. The sound is sharp and annoying, and it breaks the silence. Jacob doesn't flinch. He keeps marching with mechanical precision. 21 steps, pivot, halt, and 21 steps back. But the visitors gasp, and Frank Larson's jaw tightens and his fist tightens around his pin. Miss Thompson runs over, her face blanched. "Caleb, that's enough. Get that up right now." "Calm down, Miss T," Caleb adds with a laugh. "It's only a bottle. No one will care." Frank Larson moves in closer. His voice is low but strong. "Young man, you're on the ground where heroes rest. That bottle doesn't belong here." Caleb smirks, not bothered. "Heroes? It's just a fancy graveyard, old man. Get over it." Mrs. Thompson takes Caleb by the arm. "That's it. You need to go back to the bus." But Caleb pulls away, his ego getting the best of him. "I'm not done yet. I'm just getting started," he adds as he walks toward the area that is off limits. His friends cheer and hold out their phones to record what he does next. Emma shakes her head, and her pencil stops moving across her notebook. She knows this is going to go too far. Jacob keeps walking, and the sound of his boots clicking against the marble is perfectly in time. But he knows everything that's going on behind his sunglasses, every laugh, every taunt, and every stride Caleb takes. He has been trained for this, not just to march, but also to keep alert and commemorate the dead no matter what. His time in Afghanistan taught him how to keep calm when things get tough, and how to spot dangers before they happen. And Caleb, with his shiny watch and loud personality, is a danger to the peace of this area. Caleb is now totally committed to his act. He slips over the low chain barrier, ignoring the signs that indicate restricted area. He holds up his phone and records himself as he comes closer to Jacob, who is in the middle of a march. "Hey, robot soldier, smile for the camera," Caleb yells, and his voice echoes. He doesn't even notice that the second water bottle in his hand is slipping out of his hands since he's so concentrated on his phone. It falls and hits the marble with a loud crack, tumbling right into Jacob's path. The crowd grows quiet. Miss Thompson stops moving and puts her palm over her mouth. "Oh no, he didn't," Emma gasps. Even Caleb's buddies stop laughing because they know the boundary has been crossed. Frank Larson's eyes narrow, and he stands up straighter, as if he's back on the battlefield. Jacob stops. It's a violation in the rules, which is so rare that the tourists immediately lift their phones to take pictures. He turns and walks slowly toward the broken bottle. He scoops it up with gloved hands and holds it like it's an insult to the ground. He moves over to Caleb and stops 3 feet away. Even though he is peaceful, he is very tall. His eyes are hidden by the sunglasses, but when he talks, his voice is firm and strong. "Son," he adds, "you're standing on sacred ground. This place honors those who died to give you freedom. Think about what you're doing." Caleb stutters, since he wasn't ready for it. "I was just playing around. It's not a big deal." Jacob holds up the bottle and doesn't change his voice. "Disrespect doesn't belong here, either." A middle-aged man in a dark outfit who works as a security guard comes up rapidly. "Is there a problem here?" he says in a professional but forceful voice. Ms. Thompson walks up, her voice shaking. "Officer, I'm so sorry. My student didn't mean to get into trouble. I'll take care of it." The officer looks at Jacob, and then at Caleb. "Interfering with a tomb guard is a serious crime. We have cameras covering every inch of this area." He points to the hidden security cameras that are set up nearby. "I think you should explain yourself, young man." Caleb's arrogance fades, and his face turns pale when he looks at the cameras. "I didn't mean to. I was just—" His voice trails off as he realizes how heavy the moment is. Jacob gives the officer the bottle, and then turns to Caleb. "I'm Guardsman Jacob Harper," he adds in a calm voice that sounds like someone who has seen more than Caleb can conceive. "Before this post, I served 2 tours in Afghanistan. Every step I take here is for the soldiers who didn't come home, Men and women who died so you could stand here free to make your choices. But choices have consequences. Caleb moves about uncomfortably, his customary confidence gone. His companions put their phones down. It's too serious for TikToks right now. Frank Larson steps forward, even though Miss Thompson looks like she's going to say something. His voice is gruff but firm. "Is it okay if I say something?" says Guardsman Frank. Jacob nods and takes a small step back. Frank looks at Caleb with focused but not unfriendly gaze. "I'm Frank Larson. I served in Vietnam from 1968 to 70. I lost my best friend Tommy in a firefight near Dang. He was 19. His name isn't on this tomb, but it could be. Every soldier here is like him. Someone who gave everything. You think this is a show? You're standing on their graves." The words hit Caleb like a wave. He looks down, his hands in his pockets, and the sparkling watch suddenly seems out of place. "I didn't know," he says in a low voice. "I thought it was just a ceremony." "That's the problem," Jacob adds, his voice getting softer but still forceful. "You didn't think this outfit or this setting was a costume or a stage. It's a pledge to never forget. The tomb guard's job is to keep that vow, no matter what." Emma goes closer, holding her notebook close to her chest. She clears her throat, and her voice is shaky but clear. She looks at Caleb and adds, "The tomb of the unknown soldier was built in 1921. It has the bodies of soldiers from World War I, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam who have not been identified. The guards go through months of training and stand watch 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's one of the highest honors in the military." Caleb looks at her in shock. "Did you memorize all that?" Emma nods, and her confidence grows. "It's not just history. It's about people who deserve respect." Miss Thompson takes advantage of the situation and steps in. "Thank you, Emma. And thank you, Guardsman Harper. Mr. Larson." She turns to the class, and her voice is steady now. "This is why we're here, to learn to understand. Caleb, what you did was wrong, but we're going to make it right." Starting with an apology. Caleb hesitates because he feels proud, and everyone is looking at him. At last, he stares at Jacob. "I'm sorry," he adds in a quiet, serious voice. "I didn't get it. I didn't know what this place meant." He looks to Frank. "I'm sorry for not respecting what you and your friend went through." Jacob nods once, taking the apologies with the precision of a soldier. He argues, "Education is better than punishment any day. Take this as a lesson. Learn what this place stands for." Frank takes his old military pin out of his pocket. It's faded but shiny. He gives it to Caleb. "Keep this," he says. "That was mine. Remember that honor isn't free. You have to earn it." Caleb takes the pin and his fingers shake a little. "Thanks," he says softly as he puts it in his pocket. Miss Thompson talks to the class. "When we get back to school, you're all going to do a project on what it means to sacrifice. I want you to look into the tomb, the soldiers it honors, and what it means to serve." She looks at Caleb. "Mr. Whitaker, I expect you to show the way." Caleb nods, and there is no sign of his earlier smirk. "Yes, ma'am." Emma moves closer to him, still holding her notebook. "I can help with the research," she offers. No judgment in her speech. "There are some really good books about Arlington in the library." Caleb doesn't laugh for the first time. "Okay, Sullivan," he says. "I might need that." The security guard, happy, says out, "Guardsman Harper, if you're okay with this solution, we'll call it a day." Jacob nods. Nothing else needs to be done. These kids learned something today. The tourists who have been quietly watching start to clap softly. The parents of the family with young kids smile and nod in agreement. Frank Larson gives Jacob a polite nod, which is a wordless way for warriors from different times to show respect. Jacob goes back to his place and starts marching again. 21 steps, a turn, a pause, and then 21 steps back. The responsibility stays the same, and the rhythm doesn't alter. For the new tourists who come, he's just another serious figure from the past. To the kids in Miss Thompson's class, though, he's more than that. He's a soldier who transformed their mistake into a lesson they'll never forget. Caleb walks slower as the group heads back to the bus because the pin is heavy in his pocket. Emma walks next to him. "You know," she says, "the tomb guards have to memorize pages of history and pass crazy physical tests. It's not just marching." Caleb looks at her and smiles a little. "You're such a nerd, Sullivan. But keep going." Miss Thompson looks at them with a quiet sense of delight. This field trip feels unusual, even though she's led a lot of them. The students came here loud and irresponsible, but they're going with something new, respect that wasn't pushed by regulations but came from understanding. Jacob keeps watch from a distance, and the sound of his boots on the marble echoes. The leaves keep falling, the sun keeps shining, and the tomb stays quiet. a sign of sacrifice. It's not only a monument for Caleb, Emma, and the others anymore. It's a story, a heritage, and a reminder that we should respect some things and learn from some lessons. What would you have done if you were Jacob? Would you have kept quiet or used the time to teach? And have you ever thought something was one way when it was really something else? Give it some thought. There is more to the tomb of the unknown soldier than merely a place. It's a vow to remember, honor, and understand